We are lighting up at a very fast rate, and that's why all of us are starting to see things. And the synchronicities are so strong that the word synchronicity doesn't even apply anymore. It's just living in magic. Welcome to the Spirit Guide reading. This is the report where your spirit guides want you to know what's happening this week. And if you're finding this later on, just know that this message is for you today. Today's reading is for the week of February 2nd, 2026. So let's begin. The first part of these readings are always when the lesson of the week is presenting itself to us. In this week, I'm seeing we are all lifted as if by a piece of string, and this string is attached to the cosmos, and it's also attached to the center of the earth. It is the string that we can imagine ourselves grounding with and being able to communicate cosmically up into the divine realms as well. And this week, this string is almost being tugged up by the cosmic, and we are being lifted off of the ground. Our feet are dangling below us, and we are disorienting at quite a rapid pace. And they want us to know that this disorientation is something that is happening to a lot of us right now, and it's nothing to be fearful of. They're asking us to start being okay and being more comfortable in the disorientation than we are on solid ground right now. We are going to be feeling the pushes and the pulls of cosmic and earth and masculine and feminine more and more in the next coming weeks. And really all we can do is just become very stable in this instability. All of this is for a divine purpose. There's a plan for this. This disorientation is just us balancing into the new energies of 2026 and beyond. And our guides want to remind us that as we are feeling more disoriented, as our feet feel like they're more off of the ground, like we're in the air or we're in water, we have the ability to create a vertical foundation as our horizontal foundation is falling away. This vertical foundation looks very much like a ladder with rungs on it. And these rungs, each rung is a micro framework. It might be a goal, an action, a movement that is supporting more flow of energy, more flow of your energy, more positive flow or stability that is giving you even more of that flow. And these rungs, these different micro frameworks that you can be using are going to look different for everyone. So nobody's practice is going to be the same. Nobody's framework is going to be the same. They're inviting you to explore frameworks, read books on personal development, go and experience different kinds of healings right now to start understanding more about who you are and how to do these things yourself, and adopt the micro frameworks in these personal development books or little micro frameworks that healers can give you as you are starting to make your way through every single day and building these rungs for yourself on this ladder. And the purpose of this ladder, all of these different little frameworks, are to be stabilizing and reorienting. So we are finding something that we can grab onto that is connected both to the cosmos and the earth. And it's also giving our nervous systems a chance to find that grounding, find that stability, and find that expansive energy. And if we are holding on to this, we are actually calming down this biological nervous system that is in our body. We can hold on to something and breathe. And we are also expanding this nervous system, this energetic nervous system that we all have. And we are all probably feeling a little bit frayed right now as we are in this kind of like pulsating world of energy that is new for all of us. And they're showing this like a double helix structure. Imagine everyone on Earth. We are all experiencing this double helix structure of energy. And every one of the rungs on that double helix structure is a micro movement or a micro framework or a micro action that we can take every single day that will get us to be grounded and stabilized with the energy that's coming up from the earth, but it's also bringing us upward. Can you imagine every single person on this earth who is working into this double helix structure of energy that is attached to the center of the earth, energy, and going out into the cosmos? And they're giving you this example as all of us are soul parts of one. They told me a while ago that we are all different soul fractures of one. So we are all experiencing different realities through different experiences. And we have completely different DNA, but we are all of the same soul. And we are all coming online. We are restructuring back into the one. We are restructuring back into creation of this one. And the key to this new unfolding energy looks as if it did many, many years ago, thousands of years ago, where religion and life, or spirituality and life, was simple. There was not much to look at and be distracted by. Modern life today, there's a lot of distractions everywhere around us. There are messages, there's marketing, there's stuff to look at in stores, there's distractions of life and family and going places because we have cars now, and we get on social media and we see 1,000 different things that we're scrolling through. These are all different things that are distracting us. And as we're moving through this energy, we might very well find that we are not in very much of that frequency anymore. We might be spending less time on our screens. We might be spending more time with our families. We might be ordering our food online and not going into the stores and being bombarded by looking at stuff. We might be expressing ourselves and our households by becoming minimal, by bringing in a minimalistic structure of our households. So we are very slowly but deliberately starting to shed all of the distractions in our life and becoming much more like we were thousands of years ago, whenever we looked around, we saw symbols, we saw signs, we knew what was happening because either somebody had placed something somewhere for our knowing, or we can see what spirit is telling us through simple things like a bird in our path, or a feeling that we get, or any number of things. Our senses are starting to come online, and the signs that we are receiving through every one of our senses, this is what we call extrasensory perception. The signs that we are starting to understand through those things, through our knowing, through our feeling, through our sensing, through our even smelling and tasting, these are all starting to come online a lot faster for all of us. And this is perfect, because the information that we will start to be using going forward, probably a long time from now, we are in a bridge period between now and then, but we will be using more of our own personal knowledge of what we feel, what we know internally, what our heart is telling us. Not necessarily what our brain is telling us, but what our heart and our feelings are telling us, and what our spirit guides are telling us, instead of having all of this bombarded information making us feel like we need to make such and such different step, or somebody is telling us that we should do something and we do it and we're finding ourselves on the wrong path. We're no longer going to be doing that. That is starting to end. And that's exciting, because that means that your sovereignty is going to be leading the way for your life from now on. Nobody else will be. And the guides also want to mention that the reason why you are seeing and thinking and sensing the exact same things as others who are on the path just like we are is because we are coming online. Those DNA double helix structures are starting to turn on. Every single one of us who is imagining ourselves attached to the middle of the earth and all the way into the cosmos, grounding and experiencing expansion at the same time, every single one of us who is turning that double helix on is turning another piece of this soul on, another piece of this creation on, another piece of this one of us on. And we are lighting up at a very fast rate. And that's why all of us are starting to see things. And the synchronicities are so strong that the word synchronicity doesn't even apply anymore. It's just living in magic. So in the second section of this reading, they want to go back to the disorientation, this disorienting factor. Our guides are mentioning that this disorientation is just us trying to find which way is up. Another way to say this is we're trying to find our truth and our compass. They're saying our truth, our compass, which way is up. They're saying, imagine yourself as if you just use a diving board and you're down in the water, you're down in the deep end of the pool, and you have no idea for a few seconds which end is up, which way is up. You don't know where your next breath of fresh air is. You don't even know where the bottom is, so you can push off and get up there even faster for your next breath of air. But they want you to pretend that you were a little kid at a swim party and there was this thrill. They want you to get back into this thrill of the disorientation and really know that this disorientation is going to sort itself out. You are going to pop up on the surface, and you're probably not even going to do that by yourself. You're going to be shown the way to pop up on the surface, and then you can kick and get yourself back up there even faster. They're saying, find the thrill in that again. Find the thrill in disorientation, because that's where some magic is for you. Come back to the thrill of the unknowing. Ground yourself with these micro practices that you love to do. Expand yourself with these micro practices that you love to do. And this disorientation might engulf you for a few days or a few weeks right now, but let this disorientation sweep you up, and let this sweep over you. Go easy with everything else in your life. They're saying make sure that you go easy on yourself, even if you have a very busy life. And they're telling me a lot of you have all of a sudden a lot more to do. There's a lot more on your plate, maybe a lot more that you're expecting of yourself. But they're saying go easy on yourself right now. Even if your schedule is busier than ever, which it may be, that's just information. All of these things that you're doing are just showing you things to think about, release resistance to, find inside what to love up upon inside of yourself. Be okay with all the feelings that you're experiencing, every single one of them. And just come into reverence of everything that is you. They're saying, don't try hard to heal yourself out of things right now. Don't try hard to heal yourself. Don't push healing at this time. The healing is happening for you, for all of us. It's happening for you. If a feeling comes up that you are not loving, love that feeling. Just come into that self-reverence of where you are right now and go easy on yourself. In the third piece of the reading, I like to go in and get a treasure or a little gift from Spirit. And today I got moving boulders. We have before played around with perspective, and the one that keeps on getting brought up is the mouse in the pebbles, and they look like boulders to this mouse. The perspective shift would be the eagle's perspective, where the eagle would see the mouse's lunch and not even see the pebbles. But today we are down there at the mouse's size, and we are seeing these huge boulders, these boulders that are the size of houses, moving away from you. They are moving off of your path. Even if you are stuck in this perspective of the mouse, and there's really no way at this point in time that you can look from that 1,000-foot viewpoint, they're saying that's okay. Relax into it. Love that you are in that perspective. Relax. These boulders that are surrounding you, that are blocking you, that have been blocking you, they are moving for you. They are moving from your path. There's no reason to try to push these boulders anymore. It won't work. They are moving for you, but they're moving with the flow that you are allowing in your life. The flow that is being supported by the rungs in this ladder. those masculine orienting things of your life are these rungs on the ladder, the structures on this ladder, the actions that you're taking, the frameworks that you're building for your own life, the micro practices that you're installing for yourself to keep yourself connected to the earth and keep yourself connected and growing with the cosmos. This flow that you are allowing to happen through and being guided by these beautiful structures is that masculine and feminine flow and structure. They're saying now that these structures, these rungs, can also look like hobbies, loved ones and relationships, your pets, an aligned career of flowing finances. Even if you don't have an aligned career of flowing finances, love up on it. And that is flow. Just say, I am where I am right now and I love it. I am where I am and I am fine. I'm safe. And it's all coming better for me. And all of those boulders are rolling out of the way if I just flow with what I am and where I am right now. They're saying that every piece and part of your life, and they're saying again, the life wheel, every chunk of that life wheel is a piece of your structure. It's a piece of the pie, is a piece of how that flow is flowing. And if you don't have that entire wheel flowing together, it's going to get a little bit crunchy. It's not going to flow perfectly. And the guides are saying these rungs, these pieces of the life wheel are everything that makes your life wonderful or could make it better if you allowed any resistance that you have in any of these areas to melt or to activate more flow within. The guides are saying the faster that you activate the feminine flow of energy, being oriented in the direction of your becoming by the masculine structure of your reality, the faster these boulders and blocks and stuckness, these big things in your life, will move out of the way on your behalf. You never have to push them again, as long as you are focusing on this masculine and feminine flow of all of the areas in your life. They are all worth looking at and seeing if you have resistance there. And in the fourth section, it's always my favorite. This is guides choice. This is where the guides come in and they just give me a message, some symbols. They give me a healing procedure. They give me something that will bring up the next piece of the puzzle, so to speak, in this reading. And today they simply showed me Dorothy in a poppy field. And you know what was funny about this is immediately I thought, isn't it funny how she's asleep in her dream? And I immediately understand what they were telling me. I've never thought that before, but immediately the words popped in. It's a dream within a dream. We're seeing our reality right now melt into a dreamscape, and the awakenings that are happening everywhere around us, for us, to our brothers and sisters out there, to our friends, everything that's happening is so synchronous, and they're so expansive, and they're so in solidarity with one another that it is a separate dream world almost. Our reality is melting into a dream world, and all of this magic is so magical that it's almost like we can't see that as a new reality yet. So we're living in two different separate dream worlds. We're balancing these two separate dream worlds. And yes, that is extremely disorienting. So they're saying if you're not experiencing what I'm talking about yet, if you're not feeling the crazy synchronicities and this unbalancing happening, they're saying don't worry about it. It's happening for you too. You are coming into this new energy as well. Every person who is somewhat on the path of awakening to something larger than ourselves is having this unfolding for us. However, one of their most important things that we all need to know, no matter where we are in our awakening, everything is happening to us only when our nervous systems can support it. Only when our actual biological nervous system and our neurons can support such stretching, such strengthening, such ripping apart and rebuilding. And sometimes that happens really fast and a lot at the same time, and it can be painful. So it's only going to happen to us in the chunks that we can handle. And they're saying also that we have to take into account our external nervous system too. We have an external system that is holding the energy for us. When I first started doing these kind of readings, I could only bring in 1 or 2 guides at a time, and I could only do it for a few minutes. And now I'm bringing in hundreds of guides, and I can have them in my house in a meeting for hours. So our nervous system can be capable of expanding into the energies that we are bringing in, that we are allowing, and the flow of more and bigger energies as spirit, as your spirit guides, as source deems you are ready for. And it's not that you're not ready. Your nervous system just needs a couple more workouts for you to get to that next leveling up. And of course, if you want to go a little bit faster, that's what we have the weekly spirit guide report emails for. I do integrations for 5 days a week in there. You get at least 15 different kinds of integration exercises for 5 days of the week. And it's really great because all of them are using both of the internal and external nervous systems, calming them, expanding them, getting them online. So if you're not yet, please go ahead. The link is down below in the description box. So in conclusion of today's work, our spirit guides are reminding us that the 2 dream worlds that we're waking up to right now are both equal, but they're both disorienting. Being in between the 2 is very disorienting. Let it become joyful, become childlike in this. Reap the wonder of what's happening, because there's a lot of that happening right now. We will never find ourselves not in magic anymore. I love you, and I'll see you next week.